Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Monday morning Mailbox Power Mastermind Call. This is for all of you. This is a way for all of us to grow and learn from each other. This is not the Mike and Brenda show. We learn as much from you as I'm sure you learn from us. So we appreciate all of you showing up on Monday mornings. This call is open to all Mailbox Power affiliates. So if you know somebody that maybe is struggling or just needs to get connected in and learn some new ways to promote the business, please plug them into this call. Because we get sometimes around 20. I think we've had as many as about 30 on this call, but there are way more than that Mailbox Power affiliates. So I'm hoping that more of them are watching the replay that just can't get on in the morning, but please feel free to send the links out. We post every week. Of course, YouTube has been taking some of them down. So we're going to be better about if we're sharing our screen. Just FYI, here's a training moment. If you are sharing your screen, no matter what company you're in, and you are showing a name, a phone number, an email, anything like that, they're going to take it down. So make sure that if you are trying to build videos for YouTube, that you are blurring those screens, or make sure that you are off that screen when you're showing stuff. Just FYI, because that's why some of you have clicked links and said, but it's not here. It's because YouTube calls it harassment. I don't know why, but that's what happens. So we're not going to do that anymore unless absolutely necessary. And then if we do, obviously the replay won't be available. So for those of you who might be watching the replay right now and you're like, I can't find some of them, that might be why. And there might be some mornings where you just need to be on the morning call in order to learn. So with that, we always like starting the week with wins because it's Monday and we want to get going and roaring for the week. And so any wins that anybody has that they want to share with Mailbox Power for the week? Kimberly.
I had a friend who also is a member of Mailbox Power. She had a golden premiere and she gave away prizes. She gave away Mailbox Power prizes.
Nice.
The pen, the mug, the journal, and she's got so much with this platform that she's able to do the thank yous and everything. And I will tell you, Mailbox Power is it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Kimberly. I think Lulu had her hand up.
Yeah, so I posted in the Mailbox Power Facebook group those cards that I did, that I sent.
Yes.
I tweaked them for prospects, current clients, and past clients. And I got several. Well, I got one client. I have a meeting with her next week. She's been on the light plan forever, and she's looking to upgrade.
Nice.
I helped a couple of people get their holiday cards scheduled, and I got an executive member. So I would call that little marketing thing a success.
Yes, it was definitely a success. So take one from the books of Lulu. Reach out to your past clients. I actually did the exact same thing. I didn't yet send something out of Mailbox Power. I was waiting until November. So I was going to send it now because as much as I preach Thanksgiving, I only have certain people that will do that. And I really believe this is my thoughts. I think a lot of people like the idea of Thanksgiving, but Halloween comes and they're not even thinking about the holidays, and then Halloween comes and they feel like they're behind the power curve, so they don't do it because they don't realize that we really can send the next business day. And I've been bringing that up a lot in my networking groups that I go to. Is many people think it's at this point, we're at the 6th of November, everybody's thinking it's too late to send Thanksgiving cards and gifts. And it's not. With our system, it is definitely not too late. We actually, let's see, Thanksgiving, let me look at my calendar. It is the
I think it's the 23rd this year.
23rd. So we still have about 10 days, even more. If you're sending gifts, you have even longer than that, because really you could send them out that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday if it's a gift, and a really good chance is going to arrive by Thanksgiving, but we still have 10 days. So here's your wake up call. And those that are watching the replay, if you watch this replay today or tomorrow or in the next few days, we really have until the 16th of November to be able to send for Thanksgiving, because we ship it the very next business day. Now, cards, if you're on the East Coast, can take 7 to 10 days. And you want to know what? It's okay if it shows up a day or two late. I'm giving you permission. It's okay if it shows up a day or two late. Actually, you want to know what? It might be better if it shows up a day or two late. Because what is everybody doing the day before, 2 days before Thanksgiving, if they're having the Thanksgiving meal at their house? It's crazy. And there's stuff all over the counter and stuff gets buried. And if something shows up the day after Thanksgiving saying, thank you, hope you're having a great Thanksgiving and thank you for your business. It's never too late to send a birthday. It's never too late to send a thank you card. And so many people say to me, I just had a mortgage person I'm working with, and he said, but is it too late to send a thank you? And it had been about almost 30 days. It's never too late to say happy birthday or thank you. Because with birthday, I know some of you already do this, but if you're watching this and you are not somebody like me that misses a birthday, because yes, even though I have a system, I'll get on Facebook and I'll see somebody's birthday and I realize I didn't have them in the system. So I didn't send them a birthday on time. So I send them a birthday. But what I say is, who says I have to celebrate you just one day out of the year? You're so special. I want to celebrate you or extend your birthday celebration. And there are some designs that Mike and I built that are in the design. I'm pretty sure they're in the design catalog. I think they got kept that are extending the birthday celebration. They're pink, blue, and purple, I think. So if you go search extending, you might find them. So congratulations, Lulu. I love that.
Thank you.
And I actually had a meeting with a past client who was a client years ago, like probably 5 years ago, early on, when we got into banner season, Mailbox Power. And the email I sent, she sent it over to her new marketing person and said, you need to get with Brenda. She edifies BNI and the Giver's Gain, and we need to start doing this for our company. And I had talked to her a couple of years ago, and I thought she was going to do it, and then they went a different direction. But it looks like that will also probably become an executive client. I'm just going to put it out there. They should be an executive. They have enough clients for an executive. We'll see what it comes through as. So any other wins? Alan.
All I can do is say I'm so jazzed that I am today able to send out my Thanksgiving card with an engraved pen to my tier 1 people through 9 months of the year, and have the rest of it be effectively on autopilot, as well as announcing my retirement from what I've done for 35 years and using Mailbox Power to channel those people that are now freaking out into at least taking action and letting me help them do that.
Yep.
Prepare.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I saw Brian put in the chat that he had a term life policy sign up 3 weeks ago. Yep. Thank you. And a small gift going out. Awesome. Congratulations on that, Brian. And
Better late than never, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It's better late than never. And congratulations on your retirement, Alan. I know what that's like. Been there, done that, and Mike has too. So it's an exciting and nerve-wracking time when you retire, at least for us.
Let me say this. I'm really excited to be here. I'm in the right place at the right time.
Yep. You sure are. You sure are. So congratulations. Anyone else before we talk more about the holidays, because we're in the thick of the holidays? Terry.
I'm just really excited. I got a dozen veterans cards out last Thursday or Friday, so they'll probably be on time. Usually the timing is my fault of not allowing enough, but they were like 11, 12 days.
Nice.
So I'm hoping they get that. And the ones I sent out last year were greatly appreciated. So I'm adding to my list every year. So
awesome. And that's the thing too, is, there's lots of holidays. And many people say to me, because Mike and I, obviously, because I served, we recognize Veterans Day. And in a lot of our holiday automations that we send out, we send a Veterans Day card. And many people say, but what if they didn't serve? It's okay to send a Veterans Day card just saying that we want to recognize all that served our country and give us the freedoms that we have. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person has to be a veteran, but obviously, like you said, Terry, if it is a veteran, it is well received because our generation gets thanked. The older generation, the Vietnam vets and that, do not get always the recognition. They're starting to because of some programs we have in place, but they were not welcomed home like our veterans are today. So if you know of a veteran, only because I am, if you know of an older veteran, somebody that served in the Vietnam War, now is a great time to reach out to them and say thank you for their service, because they paved the way for those of us who served recently or are serving today. Irma.
So I sent out the campaign, and I started doing it when I learned on this program from you that you don't have to send all the gifts. Like I cut a couple out.
Mm-hmm.
I cut one of the the Veterans Day, I always send that out, but I think it's really nice and they just go automatically, and it's a great tool. But like for Christmas, there's 3 different things. I took one of them out.
Right. And that's a great point, Irma. And I'm going to bring it up again because obviously you learned from that.
Right.
Many people see an automation. Let's say you're a real estate agent and you see the ultimate closing gift and you say, wow, that's more than I want to do. Or, you know what? I really want higher end gifts. I'd really like to send the charcuterie board, or I'd really like to send a barbecue set, but that doesn't include it. Do you know how many times I've sat down, especially on the concierge side, helping people get their account set up, and they're like, yeah, but that doesn't work for me because I don't want to send all those gifts, or that doesn't work for me because I want higher end gifts. I'm like, wait a minute, we can tweak it. You don't have to use it as is. The other thing people have done, Irma, is I do recommend reaching out once a month to your client, at least your clients and your top circle of influence, your referral partners. But if you're on a limited budget, and I have worked with many clients that are on a limited budget and said, I don't want to send monthly. I want to send quarterly. Or they're of the philosophy that if you show up in the mailbox every month, that you're a nuisance and you're a pest. If you're marketing every month, you're a nuisance and a pest. If you are truly just reaching out in gratitude and saying happy holidays or something like that, that you're not. That's just my opinion. But I've had many people take the holiday automations, whether it's there's postcards, there's cards, there's all different holiday automations now. Well, not a lot, but there's quite a few that are out there, or the recipe automations or the home maintenance tips. You do know that you can take that and duplicate that automation. So if it's one that's 12 months and you want something to go once a quarter, meaning you're going to get 4 things out in a year, you need to divide the 12 touches by 3 so that you have 2 4-touch automations. And guess what? This year could be your January, April, August, and December. And next year will be the February. I can't remember all that in my head, but you know what I'm saying? You could take a 12-month if you don't want to do every month and really make it into a 3-year automation. And oh, by the way, if you're an executive, many people still don't know that there is a feature in the executive account that lets you say when year 1 automation is done, or my new client automation is done, the next thing I want to go is year 2, or I want the recipes, or I want the holiday automation. There's many people that don't realize that with the executive account, you can, what I call daisy chain automations.
I don't understand that. How does
Okay,
that work?
so Irma, let me ask you a question. When you get a new client,
Right.
what do you want to send the first year? Are you going to nurture them and send gifts?
Well, when I get a new client, I send a thank you for your business. But then it just depends. You know, sometimes I'll put them in a different automation, but I don't send gifts on automation except for the holiday one.
Okay. So
I mean, maybe I should, but I'm just saying.
So something I heard is that it depends on the client what you send going forward after the thank you.
Right.
Can you categorize? So this is training for you individually that are on this call, or to help your clients. So if you have to choose, that means you are manually doing a lot of things.
Right.
And the power of Mailbox Power is in the automations.
Right.
So can you divide your customer list up into A, B, and C clients, and that anybody who falls into an A category gets the holiday with all the gifts? If they're a B client, there's somebody that you're going to send stuff to, but not as much. So maybe the B client gets half of the gifts, and maybe the C client gets only cards.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So what I would recommend doing is taking the automation, whatever automation it is. I'm going to say holiday because I know that has gifts with it.
Right.
Take the holiday automation and duplicate it twice. So go into your automations and say duplicate, and then duplicate it again, and then rename it. And the first one is going to be with gifts. The second one is going to be, say, B clients with some gifts or a few gifts. And then C clients will say holiday with no gifts.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Now you create a group in your Mailbox Power that matches those automations. And when you add somebody new in, you check a box that says A, B, or C client. A client, all gifts. B client, minimal gifts. C client, no gifts. And now all the automations you send out, you know, based on what group they're in, what you're sending, but everybody goes in the thank you automation.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Nope.
That's
Sorry.
brilliant.
Do you see how that helps your clients or you be more efficient with your time? That's exactly what I do for holidays. I will help a client build 1 or 2 or 3 different automations, but it's really only one automation. It's their A client automation, and I duplicate
Hey,
it.
I gotta run, everybody. I'm gonna pick up the rest in the recording. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I
That-
built the A client automation, and the A client automation has the custom box, and it has the brownies, and it has the caramel corn, and whatever else you're going to put in it. It's a big gift. And then, or think of your A client, if you're a high end, you've got the bowl. You've got the 12-inch bowl in the premium box with 5 or 6 different almonds and cookies and all the goodies. Apple rings and that. There's your A client. Duplicate it. Take the premium box out. Take the bamboo bowl out. And now all you're sending is the gifts. And that's your B clients.
Oh my gosh.
And then your C clients, you've duplicated it again. And your C clients, you take all of it out and just send the card, or you send just one of the gifts, depending on your business.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Brian.
Yeah, that's the way I should have done it. I've got my C clients, got the A client stuff, but that's okay for now. But my question then is, with that kind of automation, should you send the same thing out year after year, or are you always changing cards then too?
So I change every single year. At the end of the year, I pick the new automation. So for instance, in our card a month club, they get a brand new holiday automation every year as part of our card a month club. And it's unique to the card a month club. So it's not available in the Mailbox Power catalog, the design catalog. Past years might show up there, but not current year. So then what I do is I go in and I do the same thing that I did the year before. So this time of year in November, I'm teaching all my clients to get ready for January. Now, if they're a pro, they can't do this. But if they are an executive and they get the new yearly automation and the old one's still going and they want it to go through Happy Holidays, Christmas, then they leave it in place the way it is. And then they, if they're an executive, they go to the bottom and they say, when this one is done, do the next one. And the nice thing about that is, Brian, you just said you added a new client today. So they will most likely, if you add them to a holiday automation, get the Thanksgiving, and they'll get the Happy Holidays if you do all the holidays. But they missed out on January through October. And if you're an executive and you say you've added somebody to an automation that's a holiday, an event-based, and then you say you want the second year to go later, it'll actually keep going all the way around till October. And the new one really won't start until next November. So it doesn't matter what month you add your people into a year-long automation, it will just keep. That was the challenge I always had before we had this capability, is I'd have to know, well, when did they become a client? Let's see that. I added them in March, or I added them in April. So, and what I always did was I just stopped it. And I took everybody out of the automation and I moved them to a new automation, but you don't have to do that anymore.
You're saying, as an executive, I add this client, it's gonna go from November to October now, just because that's the way it is.
No, that's everybody. If you're
Okay.
a pro and you add somebody in doing a holiday, if you add them now, Thanksgiving would go and it would wrap all the way around to October, but you wouldn't, if you're a pro, you've got to remember next October that they aren't in an automation to get Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay.
So either every year as a pro, at the end of the year, every year, you need to pause your holiday automation and restart, put everybody in a new one. And that's why you always want people in a group, not adding individuals to an automation. So you don't want to go into the automations area and enroll a contact. You always want to do it by groups, because if you enroll a contact, you have no idea what group that is to move them to a new automation. Whereas if it's all your A clients, well, I just pause that and add my A clients to my new holiday automation. I see so many people add individuals on the automation page when you're setting up an automation and you say manage recipients. You know, on the right you can say enroll a contact, or on the left you can say enroll a group. And I see lots of people use the enroll a contact, and you're at a disadvantage by doing that. That's
Can you
my
still do that?
personal opinion.
If you just set up a brand new automation, you just enroll yourself to make sure it looks the way you want it to, it's okay to do it that way, though.
Yes, absolutely. But you want to know what, Brian? I make it easy on myself, because the next year when I set up the automation and I want to get a copy of it, I just make sure I'm in the A group. And yes, I might be in the A group, the B group, and the C group, so that I see what all three groups get. And so I get the goodies 3 times sometimes, but that's okay, because then I can use them as samples. I can show them to people when I'm going out on appointments. And that way you don't forget, because I've had so many people forget. They'll add their A group and start the automation, and they're like, I should have added myself so that I knew when everybody was getting the cards and the gifts. That way you know that you're always covered if you're in those groups.
Right, but I'm just doing a single card right now. I just
Yep.
want to make sure my dynamic QR code is correct before I send it out to 250
Yes, you absolutely can do that, Brian. Absolutely. That is a way to test it. Does that make sense, or does anybody have any questions on that? Because I know that was a little tech heavy, what I just talked about.
With this existing holiday automation that has gifts that has been sent out, is that recurring? So they're gonna, or do I, because I haven't taken anybody out of that.
Nope. So let's say you started it 2 years ago, Brian.
Uh-huh.
When 12 shipments have gone, it's done. It won't keep going.
Okay.
You have to then start a new one. So
Right.
that's why I say, if you are a pro member watching this, whoever you are that are pro members, this is one of the huge reasons why I'm an executive and I recommend the executive, other than the dynamic QR code. If you are a pro, I've seen too many pros at the end of the year start a new holiday automation and they did not pause the old one. And then they have 2 different sets of things going out.
God.
If the person, say you added somebody in June, somebody's going to get 2 January, 2 February, 2 March, 2 April, 2 May cards or cards and gifts if you haven't paused the old automation if you are a pro. Does that make sense, Brian?
What a mess.
Yes, it does.
It is. What a mess. That's why I like the executive account, because it's not a mess. I just say my first year clients get all the gifts. Sort of like, think of the ultimate closing gift. Many real estate agents use that. Are they going to put it in their calendar that 2.5 years later, oh my God, now I got to add them to something else? No, take the ultimate closing gift. And if you're an executive at the end of it, say, okay, the next thing I want to go is recipe cards or home maintenance tips. And then after the home maintenance tips, I want recipe cards to go. And after the recipe cards, I want the holiday automation to go. Can you see how a client of yours, of Mailbox Power, could have a 5 to 10 year automation set up like that? So
Is there really a home maintenance tips automation?
There are at least 2 home maintenance. There might be 3.
Cool.
Yep. So with that, I know that was tech heavy and we're at the bottom of the hour. And since we have our grandkids again today, I'm going to wrap it up for the day. But remember, we still have if you're on the East Coast, 8 days to 10 days, easily to still do a Thanksgiving automation. So get with all your past clients, get with your current clients, and when you're out networking, say, it's not too late. It's not too late to do Thanksgiving. So with that, I hope you all have an awesome week. Next Monday, I'll have to set an alarm because we will be in Vegas. So Monday morning, I believe Mike and I will be doing the call. If not, I will get somebody that will fill in for us while we are there. But we're going on a mini vacation because our kids are going on vacation. So we can't have the grandbabies. So when the grandbabies are away, the grandparents will play. So with that, I hope you all have an awesome week, and we'll see you next Monday on Mailbox Power Mastermind Call. Bye.
Thank you so
you.
much. Great call.